A warm welcome back to the 1991 Review Channel. In the previous episode, we learned about the character Zhang Bakyu and how the talented Grand Tutor was rewarded with a beautiful maiden by Emperor Duyen to travel the lands with. However, his story does not simply end there. In this video, join me as we continue to follow the arduous yet incredibly heroic journey of Grand Tutor Khang to unify the nation. The reforms in Khang happened too quickly, like a tempest, causing countless sects to be annihilated and the gods to no longer be worshipped. This enraged the deities, and they decided to cast down a terrible calamity. The upper heavens, the bridge between the heavenly court and the mortal realm, received the order to cover the entire territory of Khang in white snow. The snowfall lasted for a whole year without stopping. The cold and hunger enveloped every home, turning fertile lands into a white, desolate wasteland. Famine raged, causing people to die in heaps. The court and the army did their utmost to provide relief, but the Grand Tutor was nowhere to be found. It turned out that while traveling with his wife, the Grand Tutor had encountered a pseudo-god named Naquan from the upper heavens. Being one realm weaker, the Grand Tutor was gravely injured and had to hide in the mountains. The burden of guilt and helplessness nearly crushed him, making him believe he had caused the people suffering and leading him to consider retiring from the world. Fortunately, Tan-Muk found him, not only using his profound medical skills to heal his physical wounds, but also reigniting the resilient will within him. Tan-Muk proposed a plan to use divine arts to collect clouds in jars and snow in gourds for storage. This method not only solved the snow calamity, but also allowed the stored clouds and snow to be used to create rain and combat future droughts. Realizing the truth in this, the Grand Tutor returned, ordered the divine arts practitioners to follow this method, and the snow calamity was resolved, bringing warmth and sustenance back to the people. After stabilizing the nation from catastrophe, the Grand Tutor's ambition burned even brighter. He continued his march north, not merely for conquest, but to bring to light the reforms of the grasslands, targeting the Mandike Nation and the Lulon Golden Palace. In the midst of a stalemate, Tan-Muk appeared again, helping to improve their artillery with longer range, more durable war chariots, and more agile flying ships. Under the guidance of the village chief, the Grand Tutor achieved enlightenment right on the battlefield, his power soaring. With his newfound strength and improved weaponry, the Khang army conquered the grasslands in one fell swoop. Facing a critical situation, the Grand Hierarch of the Lulon Golden Palace resorted to a despicable trick, spreading poison across the entire grassland. But the Grand Tutor outsmarted him, using the very cloud jars from before to release clouds and create a great rain, washing away all the poison. This act not only saved the people, but also completely won their hearts. From then on, the grassland submitted, and the Lulon Golden Palace was destroyed. During an exploration of the great ruins, the Grand Tutor chanced upon a fragment of an ancient weapon. Based on this, Tan-Muk exhausted the national treasury to create the sun-shooting cannon, an earth-shattering weapon. A single shot tore through the sky's veil, and a horrifying truth was revealed. The world they lived in was nothing more than a giant cage. They immediately formed a heavenly alliance, sending a resounding declaration of war against the gods, determined to break free from the prison created by the celestial realm. This event alarmed the gods of the upper heavens. They descended, and an earth-shattering war broke out. Taking advantage of the enemy's internal strife, Emperor Duyen used the sun-shooting cannon to kill the god Naquan. The heavenly court was enraged, sending down divine statues and cataclysmic weapons, plotting to massacre the populace as a sacrifice to resurrect the stone statues and destroy Khang. Tan-Muk used the human emperor's seal to rally experts from all over. The Grand Tutor joined the battle, facing a one-eyed deity. He unleashed his realm-settling sword, Strike, a move that not only contained unparalleled sword intent, but also embodied his aspiration for a peaceful realm, to sweep away disaster and usher in an era of prosperity. Although he slew his opponent, the Grand Tutor was gravely wounded. Before losing consciousness, he managed to activate the Quake Cauldron, a cataclysmic weapon that caused a terrifying earthquake. After the battle, Tan-Muk traveled to the western lands, severing the path connecting the mortal realm to the heavenly court. The Grand Tutor unexpectedly appeared. He had been secretly following and protecting him all along. He took action, using the sword techniques learned from the village chief to easily defeat Bakaw, avenging his idol. With the immediate threat resolved, they discovered that another world, the Taihong Heaven, was losing a war against the demon race. Tan-Muk had the Grand Tutor lead an army provide aid. There, the Grand Tutor met Van Tien-Kak and took him as his master, inheriting his will and the path of using the post-celestial great Tao as a foundation to change the world. However, the final campaign failed, and the heavenly court descended with overwhelming power. Khang could not resist. Emperor Duyen and the Grand Tutor were imprisoned. 200 long years passed, and it seemed as if all hope had faded, until Tan-Muk appeared and rescued them. They disguised themselves as a monk and a Taoist and headed toward the heavenly court, not to surrender, but to study divine arts and techniques, awaiting the day to raise the banner of rebellion once more. Where will their journey to overthrow the heavenly court and reclaim freedom for Primordial Realm ultimately lead? Be sure to subscribe to the 1991 Review YouTube channel so you don't miss the thrilling developments. Goodbye, and see you again.